All right, welcome back to Kerney-cation. We are here at Cedar Point for winter chill out. We're going to be checking out all sorts of stuff. They're going to take us behind the scenes. There's some new merch. There's some new announcements that we couldn't film during the Q&A, but we'll walk you through all that stuff. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this real family vacation. All right, welcome back to Kerney-cation. So this was our first time at winter chill out. We've wanted to go for the past few years, but this was our first time. So we had the 8:40 a.m. early one that was left. Kind of the only one that was available by the time we got out of the ticket queue for those winter chill out tickets. So winter chill out's a great event. It does benefit a kid again, so it's all for charity. I think they raised $120,000 this year. We were part of the Gatekeeper group. And the first stop on the tour, it was inside the Jack Aldridge Theater. So you get to see all the sets, all the entertainment that they've done this past year. So Boardwalk Nights, Miss Popcorn's Dress. There's just a lot of cool stuff in here from the past season. So it sounds like Boardwalk Nights is coming back this year. I haven't seen anything official on the site yet, but they did have this Halloween's kind of person doing airbrush painting, and she talked about how they airbrush onto the Screamsters. That was pretty cool. They also had this area where you could kind of play with mixing the music and then the lanterns too. This was cool. So my son got to pick his favorite color, kind of go through, and it kind of just shows you how they get the lanterns to interact with the scare zones, the shows, and the mazes, because once you're in, it can do all sorts of cool stuff. And there was like a lot of different things it does here. So I was kind of impressed, but we love our lanterns. We use them every Halloween, and they're reusable each year. But yeah, tons of costumes. Mr. Midnight, so he had a haunted house at Halloween. Walking to the next site, we did see the Pagoda was under construction. Tony did confirm that this is getting a remodel. They're also going to blow out the wall to Sweet Shop there, so that Sweet Shop and Peanuts Place is all connected. So that was cool. Nice to get a little refresh in Pagoda. And then this was the longest walk to the sign shop. So this is back kind of near the bathrooms here, right before you do the railroad crossing there on the left to go to Frontier Town, just right to the right. So normally this is blocked off in a normal park day, but just cut right through here into the sign shop. This was really cool. Looks like they're getting a new guessing game sign this year. So one of the games you can play, like Guess Your Weight, I'm assuming. But pretty cool to see the process. Like, you got the old one there on the left, and then the new one. You're kind of, trying to match it up, make it nice. So that was really cool. And as soon as you walk into the bigger area, Snake River Falls sign right there, pretty cool. I haven't heard anything new on that yet, but we'll get to that. Lots of Halloween signs. Obviously, they probably do a ton here in the sign shop. Do some great work. Really love it. Happy Holidays, Cedar Point, all sorts of stuff. And we actually got some trading cards here too, right in these buckets that they were handing out for winter chill out. So that was nice. You got another little souvenir. And then they had this like toothpick mean streak over here. That was pretty cool. Steel Vengeance. And then walking through the sign shop, they do have a lot of the Halloween skeletons and from the railroad. They're kind of on the trail on the way back if you take the train back from Frontier Town. And then, a lot of the Halloween decorations. So that was cool, and you can just see, where they store it and get a kind of a behind-the-scenes look, so to speak, at some of this stuff. So it was fun. My son liked it, so this was his first time coming to. He's 7 now, so he did enjoy it. It was a lot of walking. I think by the end he was like, I'm tired, but he still had fun. The disaster transport robot that was also turned into an activation point for Halloween was there. That was cool to see. And then next up, we headed to Maverick. So Maverick, this year, we got to go into the launch tunnel here and get nice and close to the track. So I know previous years they've done like Millennium Force, Steel Vengeance Field, Top Thrill 2, but this year they did do Maverick. So it's nice that they switched it up a little bit this year for a winter chill out. It was cool to get some selfies into the launch tunnel. We went in 2 places. So this is the first where you go in to enter the tunnel, and then there was another door around the corner where we actually got to go inside the tunnel. So this room here, I think they only let like 4 or 5 people into at a time because it was kind of cramped. But again, cool to see, where the launch is into the tunnel. I really like this. This was one of my favorites. And walking past Snake River Falls, yeah, nothing new on this yet. We got a lot of stay tuned from Tony and Colleen during the Q&A, but it's drained, so it's empty. Next up, we did go to the Barnyard. So they do send a lot of the animals away for the season because it's too cold. But they did have a few of the animals here, a couple alpacas, goats, so people got a chance to feed the goats. I am not a huge person for petting farms, and neither is my son, so we watched people feed the llamas, which was kind of cool. So, but a nice little stop to have on Winter Chill Out. And fun fact, the bathrooms across from there on Frontier Trail are getting upgraded this year. So Tony did tell us that during the Q&A. So updated bathrooms, yay! I'm assuming they're going to look like Magnum bathrooms or the Siren's Curse bathrooms that just got updated in previous years. So, but cruising on back, got to walk by Millennium Force, the OG. Love this ride, and the VIP lounge. I didn't see anything new really over here in the VIP. They still have those cabanas if you haven't seen. These are for rent now in the VIP, so VIP VIPs, so to speak. It just keeps going, but last I heard it was pretty expensive. But Iron Dragon, that will be actually next after the one we go to. The next up, right here next to Siren's Curse, we did head to the train. So where can I store the trains? I think this was my son's favorite part. He is 7. So it was really cool for us to get up close to some of the big trains that they have at Cedar Point. And this was nice because this one was indoor, so some of the sites are indoor, heated. It's nice to get a break out of the cold. It wasn't too bad. It was about 30 degrees, a little windy in the front of the park, but it wasn't bad. Back in the park, you had a little bit of, shielding there, but pretty cool. So yeah, they had the train wrapped in wrapping paper saying do not open until May 2026. Everyone pretty sure, I believe, that this is the train that was refurbished a year or 2 ago. So something new to look forward to this year. There's not a whole lot, like we're not getting a new coaster or anything like previous years, but hey, they're getting a refurbished train engine back. Exciting, right? But again, my son really loved, getting up close to the trains, looking in, where they put the wood and where the steam goes. Really cool experience. Definitely worth it. Not sure if that was a fire in there or just a light, but pretty cool anyway to see. And on the way out, they do have the bell that they put on the trains. You ring the bell when they're crossing the railroad, getting started. My son really liked that piece, so that was a nice touch. But next up, out of the warm building and into the cold again. Again, it wasn't too bad, but Iron Dragon maintenance bays. So I think this is also new for this year. Was kind of cool. Not my favorite. Everyone kind of just came in here and we just stood here for 10-15 minutes. So not a whole lot to look at. I guess it would be cooler if the train was in here, but again, maybe too full if the train was in here. But anyway, yeah, it was cool. Got to go into a, guarded off area at Cedar Point that you're normally not allowed access to during the regular park season. So, and next up, it was definitely one of my favorites. So we headed across the way to Cedar Point's latest roller coaster, their tilt coaster, Siren's Curse. It's definitely one of my favorite roller coasters in the park. That tilt element is something that you just can't get anywhere else. So we took this back way and headed to the maintenance area for Siren's Curse. This is the ADA path too, if anybody is interested in that. We usually, there is a member in our party who does use the ADA pass, so that's actually where they have you wait. But it was great to be in the park again and up close to Siren's Curse, so I was like, man, I can't wait to get another ride this year. But the maintenance bay is actually behind in the back here. And a lot of Winter Chill Out is waiting for the previous group to finish up before you can go in, so we were just waiting right outside the building here to head in. But this was actually one of my favorites for the whole trip, for the whole event. It was cool to see the train. There's one up top back there, and then they had a lot of the seats here too. So they do take it apart, like the speakers, the onboard audio. was off all the train seats, so super cool to look at. This is obviously a brand new building. It was one of the nicer ones during the whole event, but really cool to get up close to the trains for this. We got a cool like shot of, underneath it, which you don't normally get, right? That was pretty cool. So this one is obviously really nice to work on for the mechanics with a new building, brand new everything. That was really cool. But one of the, not as elaborate stops on the trip, linen, so laundry. They do laundry for all the hotels. So if you didn't know, Cedar Point does have hotels. Breakers is really close, right there, that building behind the fence there. Castaway Bay is a water park, Sawmill Creek, and the Express Hotel. So giant, tubs of soap. They have these little washing machines. They have giant washers, so they really do a lot of the linens. And I think they were saying that they used to do some of the uniforms, but they don't actually do a lot of the uniforms anymore. But tons of towels. As you can imagine, I'm sure they go through a ton, especially having a water park. I mean, I feel like with the water park, there's just so many towels that people use. But next up, we did kind of a combo. So after we came out of the linens, you could go to, we had to go to landscaping first, but then we could go to ride maintenance. But we didn't have to meet up with the tour guide until after ride maintenance. So first up, landscaping. They did have this cool tractor out front. Looked like a snowblower salt combo. Pretty cool. Obviously, they got to keep the paths clear because people drive on them in the off season. So got to clear the road. But it was cool to come in here, see some of the floral arrangements and how they kind of set that up, and the pictures they done. So the past 2 years was Top Thrill 2, Siren's Curse, and before that, Wild Mouse. And they were actually also talking about here how they have they run like water lines basically under the ground to help, water some of the landscaping they have. But those are the two new ones for this year. Blue Streak 50th they're going to do, and then a 250th for 4th of July. So 4th of July, U.S. is celebrating 250 years, so I'm assuming they're going to start with Corkscrew and then move to the 4th of July one. They did announce in the Q&A that the 4th of July event this year is going to be a week long, ending on 4th of July with skydivers. So that sounds pretty cool. Pretty excited for that. But normally it's just a day or two, and it's going to be a whole week this year. But moving on to ride maintenance, we got to see some Top Thrill 2. Looks like a Top Thrill 2 train here with the seats taken off, the track right there. That was kind of neat to get up close with. They had the Corkscrew one, Steel Vengeance here too. Just, one of the lead cars out front. Really cool to get up close. I mean, I'm obviously have sat in them, but kind of cool to see them from the ground. They had some Millennium Force trains here that they look like they were doing some maintenance on the seats and stuff. So overall, pretty cool. And of course, Maverick. They had a lead Maverick car here. So we did obviously see that one up close and touch the track today, so that was cool to see the train and go into the tunnel there as well. But they did have some people around answering questions. They did have this cool Top Thrill dragster component from the ride before it became Top Thrill 2, so that was kind of cool to see the buttons. And they had some people talking about some of the electronics, the sensors that go into some of these rides, and very cool to see up close on our tour. And even some of the little rides they have to take apart, not just the big ones, and do some maintenance on. But after that, we did eat, so we did go to the pavilion area. They have this huge dining room we were able to eat. I ate great, my son did not, and we packed a lunch for him. And then after, we had the Q&A, so we could not record during the Q&A, but we did get some fun information. Sorry that some of this probably leaked out already in the discussions we've had thus far, but they are doing a causeway rebuild project. Right now they're just doing some utility work, but more to come on that. The causeway will be available during the regular season. during our event, we actually had to come up the chaussee, so like the back way on Cedar Point Road. This year for Winter Chill Out, they did raise $120,000, so $100,000 short of $1 million. So hopefully next year they would have raised $1 million so far for a kid again. The first big update they shared was the bathroom updates for the Frontier Trail. They are going to be renovating Starbucks in the park and at Hotel Breakers. So the big change for the park Starbucks is going to be the queuing area, so it'll be easier to queue, which a lot of people were happy about. The Pagoda shop, that gift shop is getting a renovation. So yeah, they're knocking down the wall between Sweet Spot and Pagoda, so you can go between Sweet Spot, Peanut Place, and Pagoda all without going outside. They will also be adding 14 new spots for veterans close, so veterans can park close. Veterans also do get a discount on tickets. I think they get free admission on some holidays too. And then also the 4th of July. So June 29th to July 4th, it's going to be a week-long 4th of July celebration for America's 250th anniversary celebration. So they did sneak in that it sounds like they're going to have skydivers on the last day, 4th of July, and obviously the big fireworks show. Hopefully not at the same time. Corkscrew turns 50 this year. There is some special merch. The Tweet Up coin. So if you follow Tony Clark on Twitter and you catch a tweet up, you can get a special coin. For this year, it's going to have Corkscrew on it. Also, some random updates is that Pipe Scream. So it was classified as a roller coaster before. It's actually no longer classified as a roller coaster, just a thrill ride. So, but it is staying at the park. It's not going away. So if you don't see it under coasters, it's under just regular rides. So, some people had some questions, just like about Chicky and Pete's, what's going on, Sacred River Falls, the old place, and also we're back on the Forbidden Frontier, like the old dinosaur walk area, what's going on there. But they did not give us any information. So they're like, stay tuned. But after this, we did head out and check out some of the merch. But on our way, we also got to look at Starbucks. So walked by it this morning. Normally at Winter Chill Out, I think you can buy Starbucks in the morning. But it was closed this year just because they were renovating it. So you can actually see they've taken the letters off the front, and they've got some tools out on the patio there. But it's cool to get up close, check it out. But we headed into Point Plaza. So they did have a lot of new merchandise. They had some special Winter Chill Out merchandise. I did not buy any of the Winter Chill Out merch. I did buy one of the shirts, though. I'll let you know when I see it. But the hoodie was kind of a cream color I didn't super love, and I don't wear long sleeves, so neither of them are my jam. But they did have, I think, some new merch in the windows for Top Thrill 2, Millennium Force, and Gemini. These are all new for 2026. Very cool. And then they had these new 3D printed train models for Millennium and Top Thrill 2. Obviously, like, that whole thing isn't for sale, but you can buy either Top Thrill 2 or Millennium Force. They're $60. Woof. You get that Prestige Pass discount. But very cool. It's like, a little bit more sturdy than the wood ones you can buy for each of the coasters. This is like a plastic piece. So I'd probably be more inclined to buy one of these compared to the wood ones. But here's some of that 50th Corkscrew merch. So celebrating its 50th anniversary. I bought that shirt on the right. Super cool. It's like choose your player, Steel Vengeance or Siren's Curse. Fits great. It's a great shirt, actually. So they have new Snoopy slippers. Any Peanuts fans out there? And some new Peanuts merch for the kids in 2026. Coasting through life. All cool. New water bottle action. Some unique hats. And I've never seen this before either. Jack and Sage. So they have socks and roller coaster themed shirts. So Top Thrill 2, Millennium Force, and then GV Art. They always just crush it. I almost bought the Millennium Force shirt. I am going to buy it this year, and that hoodie. It's just so good. All of the merch. But last but not least, they did have some updated roller coaster merch for each of the rides, some of the rides, so that was nice to see. But I think that'll do it. We did get a couple gifts on the way out. We got a beanie and a poster, so a hat and a poster on the way out. So overall, really enjoyed the event. Can't wait till next year, and I can't wait till opening day. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this real family vacation.